Welcome back to the game. This is Robert with you, continuing Descent. We're going to start up the next round, and Silas, who's playing Ashrion, has chosen to go first. Silas says he wants to have his healer attack this shade that's to the southwest. This is, I believe this is our leaning shade here. He's been causing quite a bit of trouble, so he's a good one to try to take out. And Silas has chosen for this attack to use a special attack called Blessed Strike. This is a skill, and perform an attack, and if you deal at least 1 damage after defense dice are rolled, you and 1 hero of your choice adjacent to you each recover 2 health. That's nice. But performing this action will cost 1 fatigue. Alright, fighting against the shade. This is a minion shade, so we'll use the stats on top of the card. Blessed Strike. That's going to gain Silas one of these. And we're using the Iron Battle Axe. So we're going to use the attack die and the red die. And unlike other creatures here, these shades are going to use the black die. Lots of 2s on here, and a 4 and a 3, and 1 blank side, I think. Well, let's see what happens with this. Well, we've got 3 on the defense roll. We've got 2 surges, though. That's pretty good. So let's see, what can we do with those? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 damage. 3 and 3 will cancel. 1 damage, but 2 surges. Let's activate... Why don't we activate Pierce? That's going to negate 1 of these defense. So let's move this down to 2. And then we can do the second surge for plus 2 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. 2 will be soaked. So that's 4 damage getting through. Well, these shades are pretty fragile. So with a health of 2, that shade is going down. So that definitely will activate this Blessed Strike. It got through the defenses. We're going to put this fatigue token on Ashrion and also heal 2 health. So Silas gets 1 of these, but we remove this 5 and replace it with 3 instead. So he's healed himself a little bit. The card also allows him to heal a nearby hero, but no one else is damaged. So let's keep going. Well, Silas, using the axe here, has destroyed my favorite little shade. I'm going to take him off the board. And Silas wants to spend and take on another point of fatigue. That's going to make a total of 2 to move himself 1 more space, so that he can keep his next action to attack this Master Shade. But I think there's something else Silas wanted to do here. Silas wanted to make use of this Prayer of Healing. We exhaust this card and choose yourself. He's going to choose himself and roll a red die, but this is going to get him a 3rd fatigue token for this round. And he gets to heal the heal damage equal to the number of hearts. Alright, so we put a 3rd, and then we exhaust this card, and we take 1 of these red dice. Let's move these out of the way. Let's give this a roll. And look at that, we've got 3. So that Prayer of Healing is going to allow Silas to completely heal himself. So Ashrion is back to full health. Okay, for his second action this turn, Silas wants Astrion to attack the Master Shade. This is the red one here. Let's see what happens. Well, the Master Shades are really not so different. The only thing here is that he does have 4 health instead of 2. But using the Iron Battle Axe, we get the red and the blue, and we take our black defense die. Three defense, 3 damage. That's kind of canceling each other, but let's see, which way are we going to come out better? I would say we use the surge for the +2. That will at least allow Silas to punch through and do 2 damage to the Shade. So let's do that. 2 damage to the Master Shade. Alright, 2 damage here to the Master Shade. I believe that Silas wants to push himself just a little bit more and spend 1 more point of fatigue. Well, picking up a 4th and final point of fatigue. Astrion will take a step to the north to try to open that space up for our next hero. Well, next up is Martin playing Sindriel. And I sort of have a question here. I'm wondering, Martin's plan is to try to go here and attack this Master Shade and kill it, and then perhaps try to use Advance to make another attack on this Shade near villager number 2. So I kind of think tactically it might be a good idea to spend a point of fatigue to move here. That's going to give Sindriel 2 strikes at this Master Shade. 2 chances to take it out. That may be better than taking a regular move and then not being able to use the rest of your movement points. It's just an idea. But let's assume that he's going to do that. So that's going to gain Sindriel 1 fatigue token. And then let's let Martin make his attacks. He said in his post that he would like to use surges to make the target re-roll the defense die if it comes up with a 3 or a 4. And I think that's a good idea. So let's see what happens. Okay, Martin's using the red and the blue die from the long sword, and the Master Shade gets the black die. And we have a miss. Well, I guess that's good. We used that point of fatigue to move Sindriel down 1 step. So Sindriel's got her second action available. Let's let her attack again. Going after the Master Shade. This works pretty well. We got nothing on the defense, and 3 damage is going to get through. That may be enough to kill this Master Shade. It can take 4, and as you may recall, the Master Shade had 2 damage already on it. So that's going to kill it. So I'm just going to pan over here. We take our Master Shade out. And we're going to let Sindriel then use her Advance ability. After defeating a monster with an attack using a melee weapon, exhaust this card, move up to your speed, and perform an additional attack. So we need to turn this sideways, take a second point of fatigue, and then Cindriel gets to move again and gets to attack this shade. Alright, so this card is exhausted. Another point of fatigue. And the Master Shade is killed. So it's now time to make an attack against the minion shade there that's standing just north of the villager's position. Let's see what happens. Looks pretty good. We've got a 2. No need to make a reroll there. And 4 damage. So if we take 2 of those off, 2 damage will get through. That's actually enough to kill the fragile shade. So this minion shade is gone. So Martin just destroyed the shade that was here, ready to kill this villager number 2, and he sort of now is in a position to possibly block this shade or any other monsters from attacking. It'll depend on what the other heroes want to do, but Martin, you may want to let me know if you want to burn an additional point of fatigue to move up here. I think that advance card, you move and then attack, move up to your speed and perform an additional attack. So I don't think that those movement points remain. I think you made your movement and made your attack, and now if you need to move anywhere else, you've already burned your actions for the round. You're going to need to spend fatigue to get up here, and that would give you a total of 3. But right now I'm going to keep you right here. I'm not going to give you any more fatigue than you ask for. So we're going to keep you there, but let me know if you want to go to the northwest. And then we'll let the other players, Tomble and Widow Tara, have their turn. So good start to the round. 3 shades down. Sort of pulling back here so you guys can see the rest of the board. Here's the situation. Barghest over here. One of the last remaining shades there. And Barghest in hiding up there behind the door. Alright, I will see you over at Facebook, and we'll continue the action. Just in reviewing the file before I upload it, I think I didn't need to spend Ashrion's second surge to kill that first minion shade earlier in the round. And Ashrion here gained a point of fatigue for using this Blessed Strike, but I think the surge that was rolled in that attack probably could have been used to remove that point of fatigue that was just gained. I'm not 100% sure on the timing there, but that's probably how I would play it. Typically I put the fatigue tokens out by the character and then roll the dice and perform the action. So I think I'm going to let Silas spin that second surge. We didn't really need to spend it on Pierce. And let's take off 1 point of fatigue. So that's going to put Silas at 3 with a stamina of 4. That's going to leave him 1 to work with next round.